Let's get started with our first news of the day. Alexander Volkanovski responds to doubters who say he's old and done. Ahead of his highly anticipated fight against Diego Lopez, the former featherweight king Alexander the Great, Volkanovski has responded to the growing narrative that he's no longer in his prime. After back-to-back losses, many fans and analysts have started questioning whether Volkanovski still has the same fire and elite edge that once made him look unbeatable. But Volkanovski is not backing down. In fact, he is embracing the criticism and using it as fuel. He said he is not surprised that people are doubting him, and he understands where it's coming from. But make no mistake, he is ready to prove every single one of them wrong. The hunger is there, Volkanovski said passionately. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, it's just because you lost and now you want to bounce back and get those wins." But that's not it. It's more than that. I can't even fully explain it right now. There's just something deeper inside me driving this. Hopefully I'll understand it better one day and explain it then. But this hunger, it's not just about the losses. It's not just revenge. It's something bigger. He also opened up about how his mindset has changed over the years. He used to feel the pressure of constantly proving himself. Being seen as the underdog used to bother him. But now things are different. "You know, I love being in this position," Volkanovski said. "I used to not like having to prove myself. I didn't like being the underdog, but now I accept it. I don't even think I am the underdog, but I know a lot of people doubt me, and I'm fine with that." At 35 and with 2 straight losses, Volkanovski knows why some think he's finished. But he's not interested in arguing or trying to convince anyone with words. He just wants to show them, "I'm not mad, I'm not bitter, I get it." He said, "I'm happy to show you I really am. You won't believe me until I step into that cage and remind you who I am." And that's exactly what I'm going to do this weekend. Michael Chandler says he will be too much for Paddy Pimblett. Michael Chandler is making it clear that he still belongs at the top of the lightweight division. Whether it ends with a finish or a dominant technical showcase, Chandler promises his performance will be something special. "I just think my skill set is too much." Chandler said, "My pressure is too much, my cardio. The champion mentality I've had since I was 14 years old. It's just too much." He acknowledged that Pimblett has a future in the sport and has earned his shot to some degree. But Chandler made it known that Saturday night is not his time. Not that he doesn't have a bright future. Not that he hasn't earned it to a certain degree, but he hasn't earned a win on Saturday night. "Compared to me, no chance. He's decent," Chandler continued. "But let's be real, he's not ranked. He doesn't have the strength of schedule like the guys I've fought." Still, Chandler didn't question Pimblett's journey or effort to get here. "I've said this before, the absence of a strong schedule is not the presence of weakness. It's not cowardice. It's not like he's avoiding top guys. He had to build himself and get into this position. And now he's here, and now either he sinks or he swims." Chandler emphasized that this fight is just as important for him. "This is my opportunity to prove to myself and to the MMA fan base, to the UFC fans out there, that I'm still one of the forces to be reckoned with in the lightweight division. The way I beat Paddy, the way I'm going to beat him, whether it's a surgical and systematic breaking down of another human or an absolute dominant quick fast knockout, it's going to be spectacular. It's going to prove that there are levels to this game. Just because we're all in the UFC doesn't mean we're all on the same level." He wrapped up with a powerful message. "That's nothing against him. I just believe in the calling on my life, and when I do what I'm going to do on Saturday night, people are going to keep talking about me being one of the best lightweights in the world. The division is crazy right now. There's a lot of movement happening. Let's see what happens this summer." Gene Silva makes weight after fiery outburst. "Do you think he's yelling at his nutritionist?" "I just made that up," someone joked, trying to lighten the mood, but the tension was real. Gene Silva looked like a man on a mission, determined but also boiling with anger. Another bystander commented, He looks so confident on the scale, but he doesn't seem that depleted. He's mad. Why is he so mad? He's really pissed off. Then came the moment that truly shook the room. Silva shouted, "It's not over, I'm going to come back and make weight. Bryce Mitchell, I'm going to knock you out." That fiery outburst sent a clear message. This wasn't just about numbers on a scale. It was personal. Silva wasn't just trying to make weight. He was preparing to make a statement inside the octagon. A short while later, John Silva returned for his second attempt. The pressure was on. The room fell silent as he stepped back onto the scale. Then came the verdict. 146 pounds. The official announced, "He made it." Someone said, with relief, "All right, so they must have set it at 145 to start. That's why it kicked up." For those unfamiliar with the system that comment referred to, the standard 1-pound allowance for non-title fights, while the featherweight limit is 145 fighters, like Silva, are allowed to weigh in at 146. Meanwhile, his opponent Bryce Mitchell had no such drama. He made weight cleanly on his first attempt, staying calm and laser-focused throughout. So now, with the scale drama behind them and both fighters officially cleared, it's on Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell is set. Emotions are high, tensions are rising, and one thing is clear: this matchup just got a whole lot more personal. Bryce Mitchell draws strength from a higher power. Bryce Mitchell made one thing crystal clear. He's not just stepping into the cage with skill and experience. He's bringing something deeper, something spiritual, something untouchable. "I have the Holy Spirit and the Lord in my corner," Mitchell said with quiet intensity. "Fear is not an option. I'm not going in there alone. I'm fighting him with the full force of the Lord inside my heart. The true Lord." You could see it in his expression. Mitchell truly believes this is more than just a fight. To him, it's a spiritual war, a test of faith, will, and resilience. Then came the sharpest jab of all. Not a physical shot, but a psychological one. "I see overconfidence. I see the younger man. I used to be," Mitchell said. That line hit different. He wasn't just calling Gene Silva confident. He was calling him reckless, immature, too sure of himself to see what's coming. And from Mitchell's point of view, that's a dangerous place to be in, especially when you're facing someone who's mentally, physically, and spiritually locked in. Their face-off was intense. Silva came in, brash, aggressive, full of fire. Mitchell, on the other hand, stood grounded, eyes cold, locked in, unwavering. This clash is shaping up to be more than just a battle of fists. It's experience versus youth, fire versus calm, overconfidence versus faith. And as Bryce Mitchell made very clear, he's not just fighting for victory, he's fighting with purpose. Colby Covington claims, "Volkanovski is chasing. Payday's not greatness." Colby Covington didn't hold back. He said Volkanovski isn't fighting for greatness anymore. He thinks his legacy is already set. Now it's just about the cash grabs. But Colby didn't stop there. He took it personal. "He's got mouths to feed 3 daughters, Colby added. And you could tell he wasn't too thrilled about the last one being another girl. "We'll see if he keeps trying to get a boy." Wild words from Colby. But then again, are we even surprised? This is what Colby Covington does. He's a master of mind games, a relentless trash talker, and someone who's always looking to stir the pot. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying he knows how to make headlines. Volkanovski, known for his calm demeanor, hasn't responded publicly to Colby's latest rant. But with his next fight fast approaching and Colby's name back in the mix, don't be shocked if this war of words escalates even. Further, stay tuned, because with Colby Covington, the drama is never over. Ilia Topuria fires back at Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now on to another major headline. Ilia Topuria reacts to Khabib's comments. The undefeated featherweight champion has fired back after Khabib Nurmagomedov questioned whether he truly deserves a title shot at 155 pounds. It all started when Khabib made a bold statement on the PBD podcast. He said Ilia hasn't earned the right to jump into lightweight title contention. His reason was simple. Ilia hasn't fought a single bout at 155. But Topuria doesn't agree, not one bit. In a recent interview, Ilia responded directly, "I think if you move up and beat somebody like Dustin Poirier or Chandler, you're next. Why? Not because there is nobody else." Ilia Topuria says he'll submit Islam Makhachev with his own favorite submission. Ilia Topuria then made an interesting distinction, one that shows he understands both the sport and the business. He's saying, "I don't deserve it," from a fighter's perspective, Ilia explained. But as a promoter, it works differently. And that's the key. Ilia isn't just thinking like a contender. He's thinking like a businessman. "Now you're thinking like Dana," he said with a grin. "As a fan, I'm saying if I fight Islam, it could be one of the biggest pay-per-views." He then pointed to history. Henry Cejudo moved up and fought for the second belt. Conor did the same. Why not me? Love him or hate him? Ilia Topuria is making waves, and he's not afraid to challenge. Even the legends of the sport. Could a showdown with Islam Makhachev be next? We'll have to wait and see. And finally, let's close things out with a bold claim from the undefeated featherweight champion. Ilia Topuria says he will submit Islam Makhachev with his favorite submission. Yes, you heard that right. Ilia isn't just calling his shot. He's calling Islam's shot and then planning to beat him with it. In a recent interview, Topuria made one of the most disrespectfully confident predictions we've heard in a long time. "I'm going to ask Islam, what's your favorite submission?" Ilia said, "Whatever he says, Darce choke or whatever, I'm going to submit him with that." Let that sink in. He's not just aiming to win. He wants to beat Islam at his own game. Yes, Ilia repeated it. "I would submit him using his favorite move." Now remember, this is Islam Makhachev we're talking about. The reigning lightweight king. The man trained by Khabib Nurmagomedov. One of the most dominant grapplers in MMA history. A fighter with elite-level world-class control and nearly flawless execution on the ground. And Ilia is unfazed. "I'll take him close to Khabib." Topuria added, "I'll submit him in front of Khabib." That alone is a statement. But Ilia didn't stop there. He went even deeper with the mind games, referencing the way Khabib used to talk to Dana White during fights. Ilia said, "Khabib used to take people down and talk to Dana while doing it. I'll do the same. I'll take Islam down and talk to Khabib at the same time." That's next-level confidence. He's not just planning to dominate Islam, he's imagining doing it in a way that would humiliate both him and his legendary mentor.